Hello to you on this balmy September evening from southeast London. Welcome to Money Markets and More with me, Dominic Frisby. Today, I wanted to talk to you about silver, but I just wanted a word about the current markets first. The US inflation numbers came in yesterday at 8.3%. The markets were expecting something lower because the oil price had fallen back, not to mention most commodities, and 8.3% was quite a bit above expectation, and the markets didn't like it one bit. Down they went like liquid through an open sluice, and hopes and dreams of a sustained recovery since the June carnage went with them. Actually, not totally, because while the S&P 500, which I use as a barometer for global markets, bit of a row going on, has been making a sequence of lower highs since the beginning of the year, i.e. the broader trend is down. It's also been making a series of higher lows since June, which means the intermediate trend is up. Yesterday's lows are still higher than last week's lows, which were higher than the July lows, which were higher than the June lows. So there is something of an intermediate upturn trend in place. Some cool kids. Now, if you draw a trend line of both the lows and the highs, they're both still intact, and you end up with something of a wedge pattern, as this chart shows. Now, if you dabble in such dark arts as day trading or short-term flips, I would wager that the odds in the short term favour going long with a stop just below that rising trend line. If that trend line doesn't hold, all bets are off, and you'd have a target perhaps as high as 4,200. But that said, as we've just seen, rallies could fail at any time. So if the market moves in your favour, you would want to keep moving your stops up to protect any gains. Unlike some patterns, double tops, heads and shoulders, highs and lows, which I find useful, I have over the years found wedges to be utterly useless as predictive tools. So I'm not going to forecast anything off the back of it. A long-term downtrend will, in a month or two, assuming both those trend lines hold, which is quite an assumption itself, shortly butt up against a jittery, shorter-term uptrend, and one of them will prevail. Seasonally, we're coming into a bad time of year for the markets. The last 4 Septembers have all seen sell-offs of between 5 and 20%. So stock market-wise, I do not see this as a time to be taking huge risks or making large bets. It's a time for prudence, capital conservation, and so on. But I was, however, encouraged yesterday by the action in precious metals, and in particular the dogs of recent months, silver and platinum. Yes, they sold off, but on a relative basis, they held up quite well. And this comes off on the back of an extraordinary day on Monday when silver rose some 5%. Now, my ambivalence towards silver, it's long since documented. There's no other metal with as much potential. It's both a monetary metal and an industrial metal, used in virtually every computer-related application you can think of. Every phone, every computer contains silver. There's a park run going on. That's what all the noise is. Not to mention all the biotech and all the various other techs. Silver should be a play on both currency debasement and technological progress, yet in practice it proves to be neither. And at $19 is trading at the same price it was in 1980. There's about 15 times as much silver in the Earth's crust as there is gold, and so there's an argument that the silver price should be 1/15 of the gold price, which is over $100 in other words, and that's the historical average. But I've been listening to these arguments for 20 years, and the metal never delivers. Silver aficionados scream manipulation, but they've been screaming that since the 70s. And even if it is manipulated, why would you want to own something whose price is deliberately suppressed by powers greater than you? Surely you would want to own something whose price is artificially boosted. There's more profit in it. I own silver. quite a bit, and I own some silver miners because one day, you never know, it might actually go to the moon. That's its planet after all, and I want to make sure I've got a seat on the rocket in case it actually does take off. I don't think I could live with myself if silver went to the moon and I didn't have some exposure, having written about it so much over the years. But she's obviously bought some silver. I've long since stopped holding my breath, and yeah, I've long since stopped holding my breath. But here's the thing, silver could be about to go on a multi-week bull run, and the reason I say that, I do think it could enjoy a multi-week rally from here, and I'll explain why now. The COMEX is the world's largest futures and options trading exchange for metals in North America, in the USA. And there are three groups of traders: the commercials, the large speculators, and the small speculators. And the commercials tend to be seen as the smart money. And as they're often acting on behalf of miners, they tend to be sellers. They've got silver to sell, and so they tend to be short. And every Friday evening, the positions of the various traders from the previous Tuesday, 3 days before, it's called the open interest, it's announced. And on Friday, we discovered something extraordinary, that the commercials are net long, i.e. they're buyers, for only the third time in 40 years. And that suggests a genuine shortage of metal. Meanwhile, the speculators, who for the most part do not have metal to deliver, are net short. They are sellers, and this opens up the possibility for a short squeeze. Now, this is silver, so do not get your hopes up and do not take on too much risk. If it can go wrong, it will. But you could argue that the stage is set for a multi-week rally. If the broader market's correct, then silver will come tumbling down with them. But if they can remain flat or rising slightly, then silver could enjoy a good run. Buying silver is justifiable on a value basis. It's cheap below $20. It's just started blowing, but I've got my windjammer, and it has displayed a lot of relative strength over the past 2 days. My moving average crossover system is also on a buy signal. So go silver. But remember, folks, it's silver. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with another video very soon. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to my Substack. All links in the boxes. If you're interested in buying silver, check out the Pure Gold Company. I'll put a link in the comments. And also, I'll probably do a report on silver in my Substack channel and tell people about the stocks I own. If you're in London on September the 28th or the 29th, my lecture with Funny Bits, How Heavy, about the history of weights and measures, is coming to the Museum of Comedy. It's a 7 to 8 p.m. show, so if you can come along, do, and go out for a dinner afterwards. The lecture will give your evening a strong intellectual foundation. And I'll put a link in the comments or in the description where you can buy tickets. It's a very interesting subject. It's effectively how you perceive the world. And I hope to see you there. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back with another video very soon. Goodbye.